Welcome! In today's episode I work on wingtip design as well as negative molds for it. I create a reference plane above the wing. Then I add some construction lines to set the position for the very top of the wingtip. Next I sketch the shape of the wingtip. I use splines and make the shape symmetrical. I create a 3D sketch to help guiding the loft. I also use a spline here. Spline runs to the trailing edge of both profiles. Finally, I perform the loft and the wingtip comes to digital existence. I name the loft for clarity. Next, I add a dome feature. I adjust the option to get my preferred shape. I don't know how it performs aerodynamically, but it sure looks cool. And of course, I can move the sketch around to play with the shape. In the second part of this video, I work on the mold for the wingtip. I create a new part and again, I create all the planes needed to create the wingtip. I copy and paste the shapes from the previous part. And just to mention, there are faster ways of creating molds with mold feature. I don't know how to use them properly, so I will do it all by hand. Okay, I perform the loft again and I'm saving the part as always. Next, I create a cube which will make my mold later. Just draw a square and extrude it. Make sure the two walls of the cube are in the same plane as the wingtip's root and tip profiles. Next, I transfer the shapes of those profiles onto the corresponding walls on the cube. I use convert entities to get that exact shape. I also transfer the 3D sketch guide curve onto the wall of the cube. Now I'm ready to perform the lofted cut by using the newly created shapes. Sometimes the software doesn't let me to perform some of the features. I just use the feature again, but I select the profiles in different order and it magically just works. It's probably me not understanding some things. I also trim the cube. I don't need it that big. I add the guide curve to make sure that I cut the part exactly where I want. And finally I can perform a lofted cut using the two side curves and a guide curve. I also use save bodies feature to save the two halves. At last I insert the two parts into the assembly and test it out. Looks good. I can 3D print the molds and run some fiberglass layups. That's all for today and more coming soon.